Whew. Good morning. It is 7 a.m. Chain sounds fantastic, like always. Oh my god. Good morning! How you doing this fine 7 a.m.? I'm doing brisk. I woke up at like 6, so you know the vibe. Early in the morning, feeling good. I caught right before the sunset today, so hopefully we're gonna see some beautiful sights. Yeah, I'll let my bike warm up a little bit, and then we'll get going. I've already recorded like 2 videos, I'd say, that I could probably edit up and upload, but this is probably gonna be my first one because I finally got my GoPro setup correct. So this was probably gonna be my first moto vlog. Yeah, hi, I'm Molten Moto. This is Eurus. And hi, heyo. I don't know what to say. I'm not trained in this kind of stuff. This is gonna be a yapping video. Probably be yapping all the whole time. Oh yeah! I've been riding since October of last year, so coming up on a year now. This is not my first bike. This is my second bike. My first bike was a Honda Shadow 750. I don't know if y'all know that, but it's a cruiser. It's a damn good cruiser. I loved it. It was a great ride. But yeah, that thing was nice, I'll say. It was a 2007, a little old. You know, as a first bike, I think it was perfect. I think that is probably one of the better starter bikes because it is so easy to ride that thing. I mean, like, takes almost no skill. Like if you rode a bicycle when you were a kid, which you have to take the MSF course, then you are set. You can ride that thing however long you need to. And it's nice. It's not too heavy. It's probably around 500 pounds, maybe even a little less. That cruiser was carbureted 750 cc's, just like this one, but it did not feel like it. That thing, and I get cruisers are, you know, more like lower, like a 1200 cc cruiser is closer to like a 600 sport bike. So a 750 is more like a R3, right? And it did feel that way. I've ridden both, and I would compare it closer to an R3 than this bike. Because cc's doesn't always mean speed. It doesn't always mean power. It just means the size of the engine. That's all it means. But it was comfortable. I mean, this is a naked bike, so it's, you know, this is on the higher end of comfort. But that thing was, you were just sitting on it. You didn't even you didn't have to squeeze your legs. You didn't have to do anything. You were just, it was like you were taking a shit. But yeah, I got that bike for $1,500 off Facebook Marketplace, and that was dumb of me because any bike that is $1,500 does not work. It worked for the first like minute that you turned it on, so that was enough to trick me into buying it. The sad thing was I was dumb and I was impatient and I had the money, so instead of taking the MSF course and then buying the bike, I just bought the bike before I took the course, you know. And that was stupid of me, for sure. I shouldn't have done that because I didn't get to test ride the bike at all, and that is very important. I also didn't know much about bikes back then, so I didn't know what I was looking at. Later on, I found out that obviously the bike didn't work. It would run for about a minute, maybe even less, and then it would just whoop, shut off. And I was like, oh. And there were clear signs without even having to run it for that long. Whenever you would rev the bike, it would like stagger and spurter and like you know what I mean? So it clearly was not in good working condition, but Again, I didn't know at the time because I was new to all of it. But that issue was a carburetor issue. It was probably clogged or something. I tried to clean it, and then I saw how many parts were rusted up and chipped and fucked up, so I just replaced the whole thing. And I didn't get an OEM one. I got like an $80 one off Amazon, which, I mean, hey, it's still in there and it's still running. I still have the bike. It's it's working fine. Yeah, so before I changed the carburetor out, I wanted to, you know, I was coping a little. I didn't want to do all that because it is a whole bunch of work to replace a carburetor. So I was like, maybe it's the petcock. Maybe it's that thing with the, I'll show a picture, the petcock. To switch fuel on off reserve tank. So I switched that out, got a new one, because it was actually leaking, so it was leaking a little bit of gas, so I needed to replace it anyway. But I was hoping that was the problem. I also replaced the fuel filter. None of that worked. It's still... I had already put in like $120 into trying to fix it. So I was like, you know what? I'll just replace the carburetor. So I took out the carburetor, which if you haven't taken out a carburetor, that thing connects onto the bike at like 20 different fucking parts. Oh my god, it's so complicated. Those things are so crazy. So I put the new one in, and it worked. It fucking worked. It works like a charm. It just worked. And I was like, oh my god, after like a month of trying to fix this fucking bike, I can finally ride it. Oh my god, it was so nice. Oh god. Oh god. Ow! Ow! Okay. So I finally rode it around. It was going great. And mind you, I got it in October. So October, November, December, January, February, it was pretty cold out, right? And I had zero problems. It worked so nice. And then come March, I'm going to school. I was sitting at a light. Oh. Bike shuts off. What? What? No! Come on! Come on! And no matter how much I cranked, no matter how much I pulled out the choke, nothing would work. It would not turn on. And I was so sad. I wheeled it off into like a CVS parking lot. And I just started praying it would work. And nothing I did worked. It just would not turn back on. So I called my dad. I was like, hey dad, my bike shut off and it won't turn back on. Can you come pick me up? And so we got a U-Haul trailer, picked up the bike, hauled it back to my house, and when I went to show my dad what was going on, I clicked the starter and it turned right fucking on. And the wave of embarrassment that flushed over my body. It was like, you know, when something doesn't work and then you come get someone to look at it and then it works the first time you try it and you're like, oh my god, how do I explain that I'm not a fucking idiot? Yeah, so it just turned right on. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry for making you pay $30 for a U-Haul, Dad. I'm sorry, my bad. That's on me. So I just assumed it worked, and I was like, alright, fuck it. You know, it's an old bike. It's a 2007. It has a bunch of shitty aftermarket parts in it. It's probably going to do that. Which was a dumb thought. Because probably 2 days later, it did the exact same thing at another light. I'm just sitting there. Boop, 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 boop. Turns off. Motherfucker. Would not turn back on. It was the same shit again. Pulled it into the parking lot. Waited 10 minutes. Turned it on. And it turned back on. And I was like, huh. And I went to school. And I got home for the day. And I was like, oh, didn't turn back off. Whatever. And it was fine. And then, like 2 days later, same shit. At a light. Boop, 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 boop. Turned off. Motherfucker! And it turned off again, and like and I was pissed, dude. Oh my god, I was livid. And I finally took it to a shop. Took it to a shop, told them what was happening. And in hindsight, it's so obvious. And some of you that are like good with cars or bikes, you already know what it was. It was overheating. The bike was overheating because, you know, it's hot Florida sun mixed with sitting at a light, old bike, no coolant air. because the radiator fan wasn't spinning. The radiator fan broke. And so there was nothing cooling the radiator when I was not moving. So as I sat at each light, the bike was running, getting hotter and hotter and hotter. And for a safety feature, thank God it has it, because I would have fucking totaled that bike. It shuts itself off and it does not let you turn it back on. Thank goodness it did that, because that bike would have been done. It would have been fried, literally. Cooked. I would have cooked it. Yeah, so it never broke down again. So I still have it still works. But obviously, at one point, I got this bike. And this thing has been a dream come true. Oh, how I adore this bike. This is the 2025 CB750 Hornet. It's the Honda. No, it's not the CB650. It's not a 4-cylinder, it's a 2-cylinder. And yes, it is more modern looking. It's sleek, it is awesome, and I fucking adore this bike. I will glaze this bike until the earth stops spinning. This is the best bike Honda's made in like 10 fucking years. Oh my god, it's so good. Love this bike, man. But yeah, that's how it went with my old bike, my first bike, my cruiser bike. So I'm selling that thing now. I bought it for $1,500, fixed it, put a bunch of shit into it, so I'm selling it for, $2,000. Definitely taking a loss. I probably put $1,000 straight up into that bike, from tires, maintenance, labor, troubleshooting, U-hauls, just everything. Because I also did the lights, I did some fuses, I did turn signals, I did headlight assembly, like fucking everything got replaced on that bike. Oh yeah, but the bike's tank is dented. I have a picture. It is a pretty bad dent. You may be wondering how'd that happen, Molten? How'd that happen, huh? Well, I'll tell you how that happened. Bike shut off, as it does. We've established this thing loves shutting off. So the bike shut off, and we got it on the U-Haul, strapped it down, did all the thing. We've done this a million times. We know what we're doing. We go to take a left turn. Like light turns yellow, so we kind of like, oh, we're like halfway through this intersection. Let's speed up a little bit. We speed up, take the turn a little too sharp. Bike goes fucking slams down onto the railing of the U-Haul. Just complete cut in on the tank. Just, oh my god, that thing was, I wasn't even mad. I was just like, oh man, well that sucks. Now that's there forever. Luckily the tank didn't leak. It didn't puncture it at all, so it's not too bad,